Hey guys, today first video about TOC or TOGC. Um, yeah, I want to make a DPS ranking now after the first few days. We have enough data to have a decent DPS ranking, as you can see here. I already opened classic Warcraft logs or Warcraft logs, and here can you pretty easy. You can see here the numbers. We have a lot of parses if we are not talking about Beastmaster Hunter or Subrogue. We have already a lot of parses, so the numbers are settled down. Things can change over the next few weeks, but don't get me wrong, it's not like Subrogue is getting first place or whatever. For sure we see some little changes, improvements, or the other way around, but yeah. I want to start on the bottom of the tier list, so Gladiator Warrior I will not even put because I don't have it here. And then we have Frost Mage and Subrogue is pretty the same like in the last phase. Last phase they got better and better over time, so maybe people will figure things out which is good or not. Subrogue had a good time for helping an Algolon, for example. This time there is, I think, nothing that Subrogue can do that brings value to the raid, so these are definitely the lowest one. Directly after this, as you can see, we have Marksman, Blood Decay, and Arms Warrior and Beastmaster Hunter. I think that was also kind of obvious. Many people were saying like, hey, Blood Decay, you have to think about it, and they thought it's strong. Long story short, it is not strong. I mean, I would not say it's super bad, but it is definitely not strong. You could argue that you need another tier lower than, because you see there's a big difference between Subrogue, Frostmage, Gladiator Warrior, and the other ones. But to be honest, I don't want to have like 10,000 tiers. We have here enough. They are all not good. What does it mean? You can usually only bring maximum one of those specs into the raid. A Blood Decay, for example, could also tank on some fights, so they have a little bit of variations, but at the end of the day, no good specs, no need to bring them to the raid. Next one is C tier, and that's also why I named them from at the moment. I guess we need the rest of them, we will see, as plus to C tier, because I want to show that there is now everything is decent from now on. So we have destruction, because first of all there's a big gap again, and they are all playable. For sure it makes no sense to have 5 destruction warlocks in the raid, but usually it should not come to that situation. We have destruction warlock and balance druid, already pretty decent and good caster DPS, and then we have the Arcane Mage. Arcane Mage and Balance Druid will maybe benefit if the fight gets even shorter, but to be honest, the fights are already kind of short, to be honest, because the raid is pretty easy. Then we have Survival Hunter. For me it's a little bit strange. I thought they are higher, and then we coming to the B tier. B tier we have Shadow Priest, then we have Demo Warlock. They bring all very nice things to the raid. We have the Elemental Shaman and Elemental Shaman, Enhancement Shaman. Now for me a very big surprise, Retribution Paladin and we have directly the next surprise as well. But let me see, A tier, B tier. Yes, because of the S tier, it now feels like the B tier is low, but it isn't low. It is already pretty good DPS. And I mean, if you see that Fury Warrior is now ahead of Demo Warlock, Shadow Priest, Enhancement Shaman, is pretty good fights for them. To be honest, it's the same for Retribution Paladin. A lot of fights with ads, the one boss on the beasts, is an ad fight, the boss where you fight the group of the other faction. I know it's not counting to the parses, but anyways, last boss has ads. Then the two angel sisters or whatever it is are two bosses. So a lot of good things for those two specs. Then we coming to the A tier, which is starting with Feral Druid. Pretty obvious they are still there where they are. Combat Rogue, good spec, definitely you can bring them. And then and then is Assassination Rogue also only here in this list A tier. Frost Decay as well. And I think then I would put Fire Mage into the S tier, and maybe I would bring Unholy at the first place and Affliction on the second place in S+, because you can see there is already another difference. So you could argue bringing Fire Mage into the A tier down, and then the other one, or you could say all of them into the S tier, so there is no S+. So it's always a little bit how you at the end define your list, but I think they are the best specs at the moment. Damage wise, is also nothing changing. If I put here all percentiles, they are still on top. So don't get me wrong, I mean, I looked at the other settings, but usually for me that makes the most sense. Yeah, so this is the current list. We have, I would say we only have positive surprises with Retribution Paladin and Fury Warrior. People were predicting it. I have to be honest, I thought they are increasing, but not that much, and not that much that fast. I thought like when they get their set pieces and stuff like this, better gear, especially the Fury Warrior, is rising, but now he's already into the group very close to the A tier, and I know nowadays it's only black and white, so people start to think like, A tier, it's not, maybe not even that good, but A tier is a great specs. I mean, we have here Assassination Rogue, Frost Decay, Combat Rogue, and Feral Druid, super strong specs. So if you're a little step behind, that means already your spec is pretty good. That's the midfield, but the midfield in a positive way. Look what it is here as well: Enhancement Shaman, Elemental, Demo, Warlock, Shadow Priest. If I have to name a bad surprise, but then we talk only a little bit about a bad surprise, then I think I thought Survival Hunter will be a little bit more up. Maybe the same about Arcane Mage, but really we talk a little bit, so I thought I could put them into the B tier, but also as you can see they are so close, there's a little gap, that's why I took this as a B tier. You could also argue that all these are here B tier as well, then there would be no C tier and so on, but at the end you have to make decisions. But I want to say from S+ to C tier, all specs are doing well, all of them. You can have 2 Survival Hunter in the raid, you can have 2 Arcane Mage in the raid, you can have 2 Balanced Druid in the raid, that doesn't hurt you. 5, 6 makes maybe no sense. At the moment I would say there's only 2, maybe 3 specs with the top specs that make sense to have 3 or more in the raid if you have the players that want to play them. But apart from that, this is how it is. Blood Decay maybe also a bad surprise for some people that even Arms Warrior is higher. The list will change over the next few weeks. I maybe make the next one in 2 weeks. We will see, but this is how at the moment how it looks, and I wish you guys a lot of fun in the new raid. See ya, bye bye.